Hey everyone, Mitch coming in for the Compare Scores Studio. Welcome to the show. So, this has been an absolutely crazy year in Magic for a lot of reasons. I guess it's not over yet, right? It's the 19th right now as I'm recording this and probably publishing on the same day, hopefully. But, so yeah, some days left in the year, depending on when you're watching this. But basically, yeah, 2022 was absolutely crazy in Magic, and now we have the numbers to back it up, because a big thank you to Magic Data Science on Twitter, who tweeted out, 2022 was a prolific year for @Wizards Magic. And again, I don't know if this all is in jest or not, kind of just a little tongue-in-cheek. Not sure exactly what Magic Data Science thinks about Wizards itself, but regardless, let's go through the data. 10,498 card variations were printed, which accounts for 14.7% of all cards in Magic history. That's right, nearly 15% of all cards printed in Magic history is in this singular year, 2022. And again, this is a 30-year-old game. 15% for a 30-year-old game. Ridiculous. Next up, 425 new commanders were debuted. 25% of the total, accounting for 1.16 per day. That's right, more than one commander a day. Well, more than one commander a day. And again, 25% of all of the commanders of all time. Ridiculous. And finally, approximately 18% of all words and all ruled text of all cards ever printed were in 2022. So, yeah, I mean, that's obviously just saying, hey, you know what? Cards are getting wordier, cards are getting more complex. And yeah, there's a paragraph and a half on every single one of them, essentially. So this is just pretty astounding to see these numbers put together. Again, a big thank you to Magic Data Science for doing so. And yeah, it's just kind of ridiculous to try to take it all in. And let's just talk really quick about, how the head honchos over at Wizards are saying, no, things are fine. Things are going great. It's fine. I mean, we talked about the fireside chat, or whatever you want to call it, or whatever Hasbro did call it, when they were panicking because their investors are like, what in the world's going on? We just saw this article from Bank of America that you are destroying your main brand. They're like, no, it's all fine. It's fine. The Wizards CEO, Cynthia Williams, said this: most of our Magic releases and our SKUs are printed to demand. And this means that we print and reprint products in a set to support players and customers who want to buy it, usually to play with it. And after an initial selling period prior to the launch of a set, all reorders after that set reflect real demand. And our average post-launch sales quantities for our tentpole premier sets remains unchanged in 2022 compared to 2021. In aggregate, there is no evidence that Magic's overprinted. Okay, well, you're talking about those individual products. You're talking about those, tentpole sets. What about all the other products that you're making? What about all these card variations that you're making? What about the absurd number of commanders that you are making? Oh, it is just an absurd amount to take in that no person can actually take in. It's just, again, I mean, spoiler season after spoiler season after spoiler season, card after card after card. Yeah, there was definitely a day and age in Magic where you could pretty much just identify the vast majority of cards that were being played. But now it's just like, okay, what does that do again? Because, we just got a brand new set that just came out, then another set that just came out, which each had 500 cards apiece. And I've no idea what these cards do, so I've got to read every single one of them, even though we play this game very often. It's just getting kind of crazy. An absurd number of versions. It's not slowing down. Let's take a look at the future really quick. So for next year, I think that the joke is with, this new Elish Norn card. There are 10 variations, if this is correct. It looks like, I'm pretty sure it is. 10 variations of a singular card. Trying to just keep track of all this is absolutely absurd. I mean, I know Wizards is all about, we want to have something for everyone. We want to have something specific for this person who wants it in Phyrexian text, someone who wants, this kind of foil treatment, someone wants this. It's just a bit ridiculous at this point. I mean, it's just everything all the time. Anything and everything all the time. It's just, I mean, other than ridiculous, I don't know what else to say. When it comes to text on cards, I think last year or early this year was the first time in Standard that there was not a vanilla creature. There was not a vanilla creature. I believe the last vanilla creature that was actually printed was Spined Carrack. back in, looks like Strixhaven of last year. So yeah, I mean, vanilla creatures are gone, apparently. There are no more. Now, I'm not saying that's, a bad thing. I'm just not saying that, essentially, hey, things are getting more complex. We're getting more and more words on cards. I mean, I think the joke is with, like, Questing Beast, it's like, can you name what Questing Beast does? Because it does everything. I mean, I definitely couldn't have. I mean, I could name a couple things, but Vigilance, Death Touch, Haste can be blocked by creature's power 2 or less. Combat damage, if you dealt to creatures you control, can't be prevented. Whenever Questing Beast deals combat damage to an opponent, deals that much damage to target planeswalker player controls. It does everything. Again, basically, Wizards is just kind of overpacking cards with text, making them do everything and everything, anything and everything, and it's just getting very complex. I mean, again, I got into this game years and years and years ago, and yeah, it's a bit much for me sometimes, and I can't imagine someone coming into this game for the first time trying to understand all of these different things and keep track of cards, keep track of what things do, and yeah, just having to read, a book every single time they play a game of Commander, essentially, because they're like, okay, what's that card do? Okay, I got to read through this. Okay, what's that card do? I got to read through this. Okay, what's that interaction? It's just a lot. There's a lot of things going on. It's getting pretty absurd. And I do think, personally, I think the most absurd thing is just the number of Commanders that came out this year is absolutely crazy. I mean, it's, again, Wizards is like, people like these things. They like them. Therefore, we're going to keep doing them. We're going to do them again and again and again. You like ice cream? Cool. Here's 5,000 gallons of ice cream. Too much of a good thing is not a good thing. I mean, this year, and my apologies, I was not able to replicate the exact number that the Magic data scientist put up on Twitter. For whatever reason, maybe it's just on Scryfall, maybe they're missing one or two, maybe new cards or whatnot. But yeah, basically, is Commander not reprint year 2022? I found 423 new cards that are, Commanders from this year. Absolutely crazy. And yeah, again, I'm too off of that number, but still, whether it's 423 or 425, the number is insane, especially in comparison to previous years. And we'll talk about those here in a bit. But yeah, also, I did another version really quick where I took out arena specific ones, as well as those Acorn versions too. The Acorn Unfinity cards that are, not technically legal Commanders, but players will still probably play them as legal Commanders as long as they have the play group. So I took those out. 362. Still a crazy number. Even to give them a little more, wiggle room. Wizards a little more wiggle room to be like, no, it's fine. 332 is the number that does not include backgrounds. Backgrounds are, kind of an extension of a Commander. And yeah, the different, paths that a Commander can take essentially by having, different background combinations is, absolutely absurd in the number of combinations those can be. I'm not even including that, obviously. So let's even take out backgrounds. Cool. Still 332 Commanders. Now, that is not one per day, but it is nearly one per day, which is just crazy. And yeah, I mean, Mark Rosewater was asked, I think this was like even today or yesterday, is there a limit to the number of legendary creatures printed a year? I don't want more than 50 a year. Well, I don't know if I agree with not more than 50 a year, but yeah, I mean, things have gotten really absurd, and yeah, I don't like the current number that are coming out. And Mark responded, there's no limit. Why so many? Read this blog. Players are constantly asking for specific Commanders to play the niche strategy they enjoy. Really? Really? You just need Commanders and everything, and there aren't other Commanders that do similar things? Or, you're not just reprinting different ones, essentially, that just like, oh, it's another Landfall Commander that does basically the exact same thing as other Landfall Commander, but worse, so no one's gonna play it. It's just like, I don't know, just tone deaf sometimes there. It just seems like Wizards is very tone deaf sometimes. Rada, Coalition Warlord. Let's just do an example. Okay, this Commander was definitely needed. Players are like, you know what, we need another Rada, and one that does absolutely nothing as a Commander. Domain. When it becomes tapped, the other target creature you control gets +X plus X until end from X, the number of basic land types among lands you control. Cool. Yeah, this is a 2-color Commander with a Domain, which would really work well with a 5-color strategy. But yeah, players are really asking for Domain Rada that gives +2/+2 essentially, right? Okay, sorry, maybe +3/+3 if you have a waste. So there you go. Definitely players really wanted this and we're really excited about it. Wizards, you're doing too much. You are doing far too much. Too much of a good thing is not a good thing. Now, let's quickly compare things to Pokemon, because we already did some comparisons to Pokemon as well, where Magic just had its 30th anniversary celebration product, which was $999 of proxy cards. And everyone hated it. Everyone. Every single person hated it, no matter what side of, the reserve list you're on or whatnot. Everyone hated your product, Wizards. Versus Pokemon, which I believe had their 25th anniversary last year. And I heard from many out there that it was a great celebration of Pokemon and one that wasn't trying to take advantage of its own players. So let's just compare these two franchises because, Pokemon is not trying to run itself into the ground currently. Pokemon, has 9 versions so far for their games, right? Red and Blue, Gold and Silver, Ruby and Sapphire, Diamond and Pearl, Black and White, X and Y, Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got there. Perfect. 9. Scarlet and Violet just came out, and I played back in the day with Red and Blue. 151 Pokemon, right, including Mew. Then we go to Gold and Silver, 100 Pokemon. Then we go to Ruby and Sapphire, 135. Diamond and Pearl, 107. Black and White, 156, X and Y, 72, Sun and Moon, 88, Sword and Shield, 96, Scarlet and Violet, 103. Do players of Pokemon love Pokemon? Yes. Do they like new Pokemon? Yes. Do they need 5 times the amount of Pokemon from the previous version? No, Wizards. No. Too much of a good thing is not a good thing. Pokemon literally, I guess other than Black and White, which had 5 more than the original, has never gone over that number. And in fact, they're usually a lot less than that original number of 151. It's usually around 100 per each new game because that is something that is digestible for players. You can't just say, you know what, here's 500 of something. Get used to it. You like it. You need to just take all this in and just, figure it out. It's just hard to kind of attach yourself to something and to really care about something when, you're just throwing all these other things at us too. So it's again, just kind of tone deaf when Wizards says things like, well, people like it, therefore we do it. People buy the product, therefore we do it. Come on. You're just overprinting things. You're doing too many products. Things are crazy. You're killing the golden goose, and it's just getting pretty ridiculous with the excuses that you're making. Previous year's comparison. Let's talk about previous years. So 2021, which had an absurd amount of commanders in it compared to previous years too. 193 commanders. Still a lot more manageable than, again, whatever 425 or, 336 or whatever the end number was essentially once you take out backgrounds and whatnot. But yeah, still a lot of commanders, still more manageable than what this year was because this year was crazy. Again, year before that, 186. So around the same amount, still less, still more manageable. Let's jump back one more year because things really started taking off in 2020 and have just gone skyrocketed in 2022. 2019, 78. 78 commanders. Much more digestible. And I guarantee you, more players could look back to 2019 and be like, yeah, I know pretty much what all those commanders do. Because it was a digestible amount versus now you could probably show me a picture of a card. If you took the name off of it, I might not know if it's a commander from this year because there were so many that came out and I do this for a living. Okay, and then one more I want to show off really quick. 2013, the first year that the commander precons came out, I believe. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong on that, but I believe 2013 was the year. 38 commanders. 38. Compare that to, again, these days when it's 10 times the amount, if not more. How are players supposed to digest these and just, even identify, that commander, oh, cool, okay, that commander, that's a commander, I've never seen it, because you're doing too much Wizards. And again, too much of a good thing. Too much of a good thing is a bad thing. One of my favorite quotes to quote from, The Incredibles? When it comes to these kinds of things is when the villain, I believe named Syndrome, said, when everyone's super, no one will be. And that's very true because, again, you can't just eat ice cream every single day of the year. But again, Wizards is like, here's more commanders than the days in the year. Here's ice cream every single day. Spoiler season after spoiler season after spoiler season. You are killing the game, Wizards. Now, is it going to die in a year? No. Is it going to die in 5 years? Probably not. Is it going to die in 10 years? Probably not. But it might. You never know. Because you know what? Again, even finance is looking at this. Bank of America says Hasbro could fall 34% as company kills Magic the Gathering card game. Other people are noticing that you are doing things that are for short-term profits and not for long-term viability. And yeah, I mean, it's not just, your loyal, customers, not your loyal players of the game who really care about it or are really invested. It's people who are just on Wall Street being like, what are you doing? Because you are making so many mistakes, so many bad moves. Wizards, slow it down. Okay? Yeah, it's just, Hasbro is truly killing the golden goose, and those at Wizards are just kind of along for the ride. And yeah, also kind of, also saying, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We're not printing too many. The number of commanders is great. It's fine. Everyone gets a commander. Every single person gets their own individual commander. It's just absolutely absurd. I went on more of a tirade than I thought I would. Sorry about that. I had this little outline, and then I, of course, just went a little off the rails. But yeah, comment below with your thoughts on this. What do you think? Do you think there's too many cards? Do you think there's too many commanders? Do you think it's the right amount? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.